Policies and procedures are good to have in place. They can prevent you from getting burnt in the building of your junk removal business. We're going to talk about that today. Stay tuned. Good morning, everyone. Joseph here, Vets Hall Junk Removal, Stafford, Virginia, on this day before Thanksgiving 2019. I hope wherever you are, you're staying busy and you're making a lot of money with your junk removal business. We only have one job on the schedule today. Gentleman called us from Dumfries, Virginia, which is about 8 miles down the way. He has a sofa and love seat set sitting in his garage. All we need to do is back the trailer up, throw it in. We'll be on the job site between 5 and 7 minutes. Easy money, guys. I love my hit and run jobs. About a month ago, I got a text from an individual who implied he was working for Panera Bread. So I asked him his name. He didn't give me his name, so we continued on with the text. He had a stack of metal shelving units, some metal traffic signs, some miscellaneous cardboard sitting on the backside of Panera. Real easy, outside, maybe a 10-minute job, if that, 4.5 miles away from my house. Not a big deal. We can handle it. Unfortunately, we couldn't accommodate his schedule, so I suggested that we schedule it so that we can knock it out the next couple of days. He says, can't do it. I'll reach back out to you. Okay, no big deal. Guy never told me his name. Whatever. I probably won't hear from him again, I thought. He reaches out to me a week later. Hey, can we knock this job out? Can we do it tonight? You know what, sir? This is our busy season. Though we pride ourselves in 24-hour or less junk removal service, I really think the best way to handle this is let's just schedule it. We would love to help you, but we got to schedule it. By the way, sir, my name is Joseph. What's your name? He doesn't give me his name. At this point, guys, the bells are starting to go off. The red flags are starting to go up. I'm starting to feel like this guy is being evasive, and this whole text interaction with him over the last couple of weeks is just getting kind of weird now. Okay, whatever. He doesn't answer my questions. He said he'll reach out to me later. He texts me once again on a Friday evening. He says, hey, can you put me on the schedule for tomorrow morning? As luck would have it, we had a cancellation, and that slot for Saturday morning was available. I said, sir, we can definitely accommodate you. My name is Joseph. What's your name? He doesn't answer my question. Okay, whatever. I'm going to ask him a couple more times. I'm going to pry his name out of him because Vets Hall Junk Removal, guys, doesn't do business like that. If we don't know who we're working for and we're not really sure we're even going to get paid, we don't do it. So we set it up, give him the rate, and though I tell you, don't ever give rates or estimates over the telephone, there is one exception. When you get a good idea of the scope and the size of the job and you're 100% comfortable that you know what you're getting yourself into, by all means, give the rate over the telephone. So I said, sir, as a company policy, we have to have a point of contact name so that when we arrive on the property, we go in, we introduce ourselves, just in case there's any problems while we're completing your job and who to get paid from. He says, not a big deal. You don't have to go inside the restaurant at all. Everything's outside. I'll be on call this weekend. I have my credit card. Reach out to me. I'll pay you. Doesn't work like that, guys. Not for us. A lot of you guys out there are new in junk removal and you just want to work. You're really aggressive. And something like this, you may take a chance and it may work out well. It may not be any problems whatsoever. But I have had a few problems in the past with these types of situations. When an out-of-state homeowner calls me and says, I need you to remove some items from my home. I won't be able to meet you, but I can pay you. Just can you handle it? I always tell them we expect payment before we even leave our home. Before we complete your job, we expect to be paid. I've never had any issues since implementing that policy. So I basically implored the dude, come on, man, give me your name. We don't do business like that. I said, when I get there, I need to ask for someone by name. Once again, he says, you can go into the restaurant and ask for the service manager on duty. Now I think the guy's playing with me. I think the guy's a total fraud. So I'm going to press him. I'm going to have fun with him. I said, sir, can you do me a favor and check the schedule and give me a flippin' name already? Or should I just call Panera right now and find out who's going to be on schedule, who's going to be the service manager on that day at that time? He says, no, you don't need to do that. I said, sir, do you work for Panera Bread? He says, no. I said, who do you work for? He gives me the name, so-and-so Resources. They do expansions and construction for restaurants in that industry. Okay, so in between the text communication, okay, I look up this company name. And I see reviews from other vendors that they've worked for. And the very first review I see, it's titled in big bold letters, capital letters, "Beware!" exclamation, exclamation. I said, oh, heck no. I continue to scroll down. Guys like me are having a hard time getting paid. Guys like me are saying, don't work for this company. We told you so. Okay. So I get back on via text with him, and I'm just like, I want to get rid of this guy. Sir, unfortunately, we do not work with third-party vendors until we've vetted you and had the time to check your references and establish a business relationship with you. This person got nasty with me, very unprofessional, and I said to myself, thank goodness. Okay, if that's the way they react when I say I don't want to work with them, that illustrates to me just how unprofessional of a business they are. Not only that, in the reviews I also read they go by all kinds of different names. Guys, you must have some type of vetting procedure in place for situations like this. It doesn't need to be in depth, although it can be, okay? At a minimum, I asked the individuals, would it be okay if we speak by telephone? I have a few questions for you. I've never had any issue with that. You can check their LinkedIn. You can check the reviews on Google. You can reach out to other junk removal entrepreneurs via junk removal business owner groups on Facebook. You could ask, anytime you have these type of questions, guys, you can reach out to individuals. If you're a member of the National Junk Removal Business Owners Association, and I've seen junk removal entrepreneurs ask before, has anyone worked for this company? And sometimes the answers come back, yeah, they're a great company to work for. Other times they're like, don't work for this guy. So that's a resource. If you're just getting into junk removal, guys, consider this part of your vetting process. But it doesn't have to be real in-depth, guys. It could just be a phone call. It could also just be your gut, guys. If your gut doesn't feel right, sometimes it is not right. And you just let them move on. Tell them, no, I'm sorry, we can't do it for whatever reason. And let them move on to rip somebody else off, but not you. You're smarter than that. Any company that has a ton of different names, guys, I would be beware. Sometimes it's legitimate. Sometimes they have legitimate reasons for working under various names. But to me, that sends up big red flags. So then a week later, a junk removal entrepreneur in my particular area makes a video about an interaction with this company. Turns out the same individual that reached out to me reached out to this junk removal entrepreneur, sent him the same picture that they sent me. This junk removal entrepreneur drove 30 minutes there to service this customer out of his way. He gets to the Panera Bread. The job was canceled. Nobody told him. He has to charge a cancellation fee. He makes this video talking about his experience. I said, brother, that's the same company that reached out to me. But they used a different name when they reached out to this junk removal entrepreneur. They wasted his time. He drove out there for nothing. He charged a cancellation fee. They paid it. This guy says, I've never had any issue with this company. Good for him, guys. Good for him. Unfortunately, for me, I'm not willing to risk it, okay? I work with customers and vendors on my terms. I dictate the terms. If I don't feel comfortable, guess what? They're not gonna be serviced by the most professional junk removal company in the industry. And you should have the same attitude, guys. Don't be so aggressive that you're willing to do anything and everything just to do the job. Sometimes it can come back and bite you in the ass. You could find yourself working for free. This guy wouldn't even give me his name. He implied that he worked for Panera Bread. And when I pressed him and pressed him and pressed him, I finally found out. The reason he was very evasive with me is because I could find out all about the negative business practices that these companies use. So, am I happy that this other junk removal entrepreneur has had multiple business interactions with him that were all positive? Yeah, I am, guys. And most of the vendors out there, guys, you're not gonna have any problems with. But you always have to be on your toes, put policies in place so that you don't get burned, and don't be so aggressive to work with everybody just so that you can work. That being said, guys, we're just about to arrive at the customer's home. I'll show you what we're taking. Stay tuned. Guys, this is the sofa and love seat that we're removing. Should be on site no more than 5 minutes. There you go, guys. First it was there, now it's not. Courtesy of Vets Hall Junk Removal. These things are in decent shape. We're gonna see if we can donate these to the local veterans charity. See if we can cut the customer a tax receipt, thereby reducing their overall junk removal cost. If you're in Stafford, Virginia, Fredericksburg, Woodbridge, or really anywhere in Northern Virginia, and you have items that you need to have hauled away because they're getting old, maybe they're just broken down, you can reach out to the Junk Removal Company, powered by Veterans and Patriots, at 540-657-VETS. That's 540-657-VETS. You can also find us online at vetshauljunk.com. That's vetshauljunk.com. I'm Joseph, and we're on the move, making things happen. Hoo-wah.